Hey again, everybody. I'm posting a lot these days um, because I don't want to think too much. And sometimes, if I have too many ideas, it just all gets lost in one video and it doesn't sound right when I try to make it make sense. But I want to share it anyway. So, one of the things I wanted to share again about bike fit, it occurs to me every day as I'm riding my bike, and it is. Has to do with, I'll say, vertical force, like straight down force. When I feel like I'm really zeroing in on my fit, I feel like the weight of my body is not sliding forward or back, whether at the saddle or at the bars. The force is going straight down, and that can sound confusing because the body kind of has angles to it. Sometimes people have this idea that there's a 45 here and a 45 there, and that once that's good, then it's a perfect triangle. And then there's like equilateral, it's like an equilateral triangle, and then there's equal forces. I don't really think that's how it works in reality. When you're riding your bike, stability comes from vertical forces going straight down onto each of the contact points. So of course, at the pedals, straight down. At the saddle, you'll feel like you're not creeping onto the nose of the saddle, not sliding back. And at the bars, you have multiple positions where you can kind of establish that vertical downward force. So for myself, like the easiest pedaling happen, that force can be achieved at the tops. And as I speed up, honestly, I feel like it goes to this part, to the drops. And it all has to do with the shoulders. If you have your shoulder is relaxed and you've got that vertical force, that's the part of the bar to hold. And as you pedal harder, the force will be further forward in the pedal stroke. That vertical force, the harder you pedal, will be further at the front of the pedal stroke versus when you're just standing, you're at the bottom of the pedal stroke. That force is at the bottom, and a lot of times when you're pedaling easy, it feels like there's almost zero vertical force in the pedals, in which case that happens at the saddle or at the bars. So I just want to say, when you're pedaling harder, you tend to be able to migrate forward, and I have a theory of why that is. And you can go even further forward, hooking that pinky underneath, grabbing I guess some people call this the tower, I call it the peak of the hood up here, which I love about Shimano levers. I think they have a great peak here. And then finally, there's just putting your hands, your forearms on the tops of the bars and just riding as if there's an arrow bar on there. But yeah, so basically you have tops, drops, corners, infinite positions from the corner to the hood. This probably being the best way to set up your bars so that when you're spending the majority or the average pedaling force you have during the ride, I think this hand position is the best one. So if you set your bars up where this feels good, that's a good way to go. But then you've got all these ways to extend forward as you push harder, or come back to the tops when you're taking it easy. So I think I just wanted to tie that in with, if you're trying to figure out what bars to get, what stem to get, where to put your hands on the bars, this kind of unifying principle of direct force straight down is the guiding principle.